A lot of people are scared to ask me questions. They might not have enough confidence to ask a cancer survivor about personal matters, and that is completely fine. But in this video, I let AI ask me some questions about my own personal story, and I answered them honestly. And you guys can have a look now and see if it inspires you to do more for this world, to do more for people, and just try and make a difference. If I can do it, you can too. There are some things that people don't understand about cancer. It isn't just about being ill, being in the hospital, losing your hair, not being yourself anymore. People immediately start thinking about death, that it's the end. That's it, I've got cancer, I'm not going to live anymore. And that isn't true. Speaking from a survivor perspective, when I was young, I didn't realize what leukemia was. I didn't know what it was. I knew I was sick, I didn't know what it was. Simple. I was too young to process that kind of stuff. And I was never allowed to suffer. I never stayed home suffering, thinking about the disease, or drown myself, or my parents drowning themselves. No, we just lived. We lived like it was just a normal day, just another day in the life of myself. And that's what what's important for anyone that is suffering with cancer, anyone suffering with any kind of disease out there. Don't let it take over your life. Just live like you would normally and fulfill your purpose, because there's always going to be good days and there's going to be bad days. There's going to be days that you can't get out of bed. There's going to be days that you're going to be stuck in hospital. But if sometimes you're going to have days where you're just going to spend it with your family, good traveling, and just live your life normally. And that's what people don't understand about cancer. And that's what's important, because it isn't the end, it is the beginning. There was never such thing of me being scared. First off, I didn't know what to be scared of. I didn't know what leukemia was. If you ask a child today, what's cancer? What's leukemia? What's blood cancer? What's this and what's that? They don't know. And it's normal for a child not to know that stuff, because it is deep. It's something dangerous. But for me, I wasn't scared. I was never scared. At some point, I was always getting injections, and I knew that they would be painful. I knew that there was going to be pain outside it, but I didn't want to be scared. I wanted to be strong, strong for my family and the people around me. I can sit here and tell you cliches that I didn't have a normal childhood. I lost it. I lost all my innocence, and yeah, and some of these aspects might be true. Of course, I wasn't able to have the normalest childhood that a normal kid would have, yet I never failed to live. Leukemia did make me very sick. It made me weak. I remember I used to be very tired, especially from walking long distances, and I used to get exhausted. I, of course, lost my hair during chemo, and there was suffering. There was a lot of suffering, as it does come from cancer. I remember the injections and that part where I had to be strong. But leukemia never took over my life. It never destroyed anything in me. In fact, it made me stronger. It made me a stronger kid, because at some point I had good days where I could play with other people and I had amazing stories to tell them. And yeah, I can't sit here and tell you that everything was destroyed by this disease. Of course it was, but for me as a child, I still lived my childhood. Today, I feel very confident to sit in front of a camera and tell the public my own personal story on really personal matters of what I went through when I was young. And I never had this confidence in me. It was only in the past year and so that I started building this confidence and realizing that I should be telling people out there my story. I should make this public and I should never keep it in me because I'm a survivor and I have been 12 years free. And I had a second chance of life. I could have been dead, 6 foot deep, worm food, just speaking of it in a more grim sense. But I'm a survivor and I'm here today speaking in front of this camera, you watching this video, and the confidence came. I was afraid that if I said my story out loud, people would make fun of me. People would think, oh, he's attention seeking, he's looking for a benefit out there. I'm not here for any benefits for myself, I'm here to help another person. And there's a lot of people on this world, and I'm sure if at least one person that is suffering with cancer, or another parent that has a child that is suffering with cancer, can see this video, can see the things that I do, it brings them at least a little hope that can just drive them into believing that they can do the same as me and survive leukemia, survive cancer. And that is what's important for me, and that's why I built this confidence from the bottom up, here to make a difference. If my younger self could see me now, where I am today, it's a grown ass man. To be honest, I'd be proud of myself. I'd feel that pride that I've grown up, that I'm doing these things today to help other people, and the fact that I'm still smiling like I used to, that would just make me the proudest kid in the whole world. And he'd know what he'd be fighting for. And that's a lot to think about. One piece of advice that I would give to everyone, anyone around me, is that you don't have to be a cancer survivor to make a difference. If you haven't suffered from anything, that is amazing. And being healthy is the most important thing that you can have in this world. But you don't have to be a survivor, you don't have to be anything just to make a difference in someone else's life. For me, if I can go and help another child that was just like me, that's important. That's very important. Because I received a lot of help when I was young. And if I can help another person, then my role has been fulfilled. So what I'm telling you now, today is the day you get up and you go and do something and you help another person. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope my story has inspired you a lot.